Greetings everyone, this is Lodrik out of Hefei, China, and this is the game War in the Pacific or Admirals Edition. Play by email match against Jochen. Jochen is the allied player, for me the Empire of Japan. Scenario 1, 1 day turn setup. And yeah, let's continue how my struggle against the American allies continue here. You just saw that in Mindanao I pick up one of the bases more or less for free. And now we are already in the night time. Some merging of units north of Sumatra. American Mark 10 Mark 10 submarines, so the older First World War class submarines are here in Luganville, trying to sneak in and maybe damage my cargo ships or whatever, warships, carriers, whatever I have here just now. But it's shallow water and this is always dangerous for any kind of submarine. I have here only this light, shitty 95 type depth charger, so they only can operate in shallow water, and even a hit here will not create too much damage. So let's see. I'm running out of depth chargers. I can create 16 hits, but still the submarine is not forced to surface, so you can see. It is nice to create hits, but only a dead submarine is a good submarine. But it still shows that even if the Japanese anti-submarine equipment is very shitty up to the summer of 42, normally really getting better in 43, it is possible to damage enemy submarines in shallow water, but it's really limited to shallow water. Some landing operations in the center of the Philippines. So no Navy engagement, no additional submarine strike from my side. Very quiet. And bad weather in China. So now the typical recon missions. Detect the enemy strength at the bases. And the weather is of course again not the best. Luckily no enemy fighters here in Xi'an. My campaign, at least my air campaign, is in China all the time more or less successful. Impact is still not great, but it will support my effort. Yeah, again, shitty weather. An enemy base, maybe with the fort level supporting. It's clear terrain, but I still think that the units getting bonus if they stay in a base with fort. And this was maybe my mistake. I saw that Jochen scouts this base already 2 turns, and I still had here airplanes on the ground. I have here flag, but it's simply not enough. I think Jochen come here very in low altitude, not in strafing mode, but you can see that he damaged many of my airplanes. And this is only a small airport, so I think also maybe this kind of airfields have less protection against this bombing strikes than an airport, a big airport with for level 7 more. So you can see, and you have also high numbers, so 35 and 9. So I lost here 5 airplanes on the ground. I can kill at least one Blenheim by flak, but half my the runway is half already damaged, and the rest is also not in good shape. These are normally only 250 pound bombs, so roughly a little more than 100 kilo, not the biggest bombs, and the altitude is medium. But maybe it was really a very skillful or lucky. Really no weather effect and no enemy fighter, so it was a surprise. This was really the first time I get completely surprised by an airstrike, and he sent more in, and I have only flag. I saw that my flag is maybe strong enough. I have here I think 2 or 3 flag units, but it looks like not. This attack was a failure, more or less. Hit nothing. I mean, hit the base, but no airplanes on the ground. But there's still more coming. And now again, 4 more airplanes destroyed on the ground. So you have so many bombers here, and this is simply, yeah. He can use his bombers in normal attack range, and I simply cannot keep enough cap fighters here up, especially because Jochen have here so many fighters. I cannot play this number game. It will burn out my pilots. One more Betty destroyed on the ground, so we are 10 airplanes destroyed on the ground this turn. I can only hope that these are all destroyed airplanes on the ground, not destroyed or killed pilots. Now the B-17s. 1, 2 damage, but okay, maybe up to 7 flags. This was a nothing, let's say. Luckily, this was no real big impact, but the amount of aircraft Jochen has in Rangoon is really terrible. So 2 more gets destroyed on the ground. The most successful airstrike Jochen ever had, I think, so far. He catching my airplanes on the ground, and it shows you also that if you mess up too many airplanes on the ground and you don't have air cover or enough flak. A flag is always only a support weapon, but never can keep the air really clean. So now the Flying Tigers coming. I think this was the support sweep. Okay, you can see sweeping, but with no effect. I had no cap up. I was trying to operate under his radar so that he don't find me, but the problem is he scouted this base twice already, so he know exactly what I had there, and this is a mistake. I had normally, in the moment I realized, okay, he scouts this base, there's a risk that there is an airstrike coming. Only the risk already I must react maybe, but I ignored it, and ignorance is always the beginning of every downfall, so I try to learn out of this. But again, if you don't risk anything in the war, you cannot fight a war. Maybe if you're America, you don't must risk anything because the time is always your best ally. But at least with Japan, you must risk stuff. If this was a good risk, no, I would say no, because what I want was only the possibility that I can maybe build up an airbase there with some fighters and some navy bombers to attack enemy shippings. But this will not really change the war. Now I lost 10 airplanes. So this was now what I plan also from this northern base. This was a strike out of Bangkok. And this is a Dutch good destroyer, and I can create a torpedo hit. And this is so a little outside of Rangoon, so maybe there's no way this destroyer can escape. One more cargo ship hit. Two. Okay. Three. So this is now overkill, of course. This is but this torpedo attacks failed, pity. Hit, but no explosion. Luckily, the second torpedo make explosion. So maybe we can sink here 2 cargo ships and 1 destroyer. And you can see that these pilots, if they come in from the right direction, then they can really create many hits, even on destroyers. So these are best pilots trained, very skillful all. But unluckily I missed 2 of these cargo ships. Why? Yeah, this attack would be more. We had more impact. So I lost the airplanes on the ground, but I was able to sink 1 destroyer and maybe 2 cargo ships. And here's a little more. This is AMC, so this is of course nonsense to attack. But these ships are dead in the water, so they are out of fuel, looks like. Normally this is the meaning of dead in the water. They cannot operate. I don't know why Jochen don't give him fuel. Okay, this was all. 2 AMCs. Both killed. Naja. Not a big impact attack. The destroyer is nice. Every destroyer I can kill will help me in the upcoming year of 42. But in 43 I think it doesn't matter more. Then if Jochen get every second day 1 more destroyer, I can never kill so many. But for 42 I think it's helpful. 42 Japan and America or the allies are equally. Now we can see the appearance of American carrier forces west of Port Blair attacking my AMCs, and they're hitting with this 1,000 pound, so roughly 500 kilo, 450 kilo maybe. Yeah, that's also overkill. Luckily there's really not much more. So he killed my minesweeper. And we can see that Jochen is really operation. He's just 3 hexes west of Port Blair. So maybe 15 hexes away from Bangkok. Out of range of my 0 escorts. So if I send out my Bettys now, if I gave my Bettys the order to attack 15 or 18 hexes far away, then else can go 18 hexes with torpedoes. I maybe find the enemy carriers, but slaughtered by enemy cap fighters. So I really don't want to go over 11 hexes. This is the maximum the zeros can operate well. So no immediately sinking sound, so the destroyer maybe survived so far. Good. Beamer, no enemy defender. That is easy. Picking. The allies bombard me. So they Jochen won't test how strong is my blocking force here. And we can see that the Americans have 444, I have 600, so roughly 50% more attack value for me. And the next question is how well supplied these allied troops are now. The Thai army trying to free up this railway link between Bangkok and Singapore. Slowly making progress, so every turn now I can get more of these allied forces in disable status. And this is Inner Mongolia. My C part of the division was able to catch up with the Chinese. Unluckily, they still don't want to give up. I was hoping that they will surrender, then I could say this area is completely secured. But no, they are mostly broken, so nearly nothing more is intact, because everything looks like it's disabled or destroyed. So I don't know if there's any attack value left in these two Chinese brigades. If I'm lucky, then there's nothing. No AV left, and without AV you cannot take a base. Because I don't want to really follow these units deeper in the mountains. So I increased my defense level in the Davao. So if Jochen try to storm but I think it's not possible. It's double terrain. I have 2 fort level. And Jochen is still normally too weak to attack me. It would be nice if he tried. It will help me to really get Mindanao faster under control. One more sub in Port Arthur. And some other small reinforcements for me. Good. So 27th February, not more really much left of this month. First, the intelligence report. So air war was not good for me. You can see I lost Beatties and Nels all on the ground, 7 and 7. That is huge. And of course 3 or 4 Oscars. And this is the rest is operational. One wildcard had a landing accident, I think, on the carrier. On one of the Blenheims I killed. Yeah, I saw this. But a very successful sneak strike on my airfield. But heavily also related to my that I underestimate his ability to really strike so strong. Maybe I can show. So out of this 20 lost airframes, at the end 5 wounded pilot and 2 killed. We can maybe go shortly to this airbase. So you can see the runway is completely destroyed. The service is also more or less crippled. It was an airbase of 3. I just want to bring it up to 4. 4 is normally what I like to take. First, it's the cheapest. Up to 4 I can build it. Cheap after that it gets expensive. And 4 is enough for every twin bomber, and it's normally enough for Japanese. Allies, they need 5, 6, 7, but not Japanese. And you can see here that this bomber squadron had just in this turn 1 killed and 1 wounded pilot. Okay. This bomber squadron had 3 wounded pilots, but no one killed. And the fighter wing also have 1 wounded pilot. Okay. And this has a 3 killed on the ground, 6 killed on the ground, and 7 killed on the ground. No, not a good day for the Navy Army or Navy pilots, Navy bomber arm wing, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the ship sunk. Maybe we need to finish this. So I lost my AMC. Okay. We maybe sunk this S-boat. So again, it's a Mark 10. So these torpedoes have the same reliability like Japanese torpedoes, but the warhead is really small. It is short range, and the ammunition is, so can fire 4 torpedoes at maximum. The most Japanese, they can fire 6 torpedoes, and the warhead is double than this one. We think 1 standard cargo ship. This is really nothing special. 1 nice, faster, super long range. This is, I would say, super long range. This can go across the Pacific, no problem. The destroyer is official, also not sunk here, and this is the same AMC. This is AMC 500 tons. And the Japanese AMC is much lighter, only 200 tons, but they have the same meaning. Good. Not here, more to see. So you saw this airbase, they're crippled, so I will bring all these airplanes back to Bangkok. You can see that here are still 123 bombers and 44 auxiliary. So auxiliary can be patrol, transport, everything what is not official a bomber or not official a fighter, I think. And my recon information tell me that now Jochen stack up his fighters to 154. So these are more or less all the fighters, mostly, he had before in Rangoon. Now he bring them all to Changsha, make it impossible for me to attack here Changsha, at least at daytime. It will open the opportunity for me to maybe attack here, so I did this now last turn, and this was also the reason why I tried to bring, before I empty this base more or less, but I saw that Jochen move his fighters to China, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I can strike off Bangkok in this direction, and here from northern Thailand, maybe I can go even in this direction. But now he simply, like I said already, it is too close to Rangoon. He has far too many bombers here. If I maybe keep here 60 fighters, maybe, this was maybe an option. I could also say, okay, let's bring here 60 fighters and make cap and then let him come and then we fight over my own territory. Would be nice, because all the time we're fighting over the allied territory. So all my pilots are lost, but his can survive. Maybe. But you never know. And the carriers are now here. It's 2 carriers and some other ships. Not the best scout information, but I know here is something. It looks not big, but at least something. And it's a... 15 hexes from Rangoon, from Bangkok. So this is just in range of my Betty bombers. I don't have here Betty bombers. Yeah, you have Betty bombers here, normal range of 15. I can try and torpedo. I would never use this kind of airplanes normally in extended range if it's not really some emergency situation. It's Japanese airframes are already light, and additional stress will only make it much more possible to lose them in ops if they only get damaged a little. So, but my zeros still cannot really. First, I don't know if I really have your zeros left. Not even sure. No, I have here only Oscars now, and Oscars have really only a range of you can see normal range of 10, and again they have no armor, very lightly built. Here durability is only 23. The most allied fighter planes have 30 or more. So 23 is really the minimum damage, and already these airplanes can break. especially if you fly 10 hexes back, and every hex you must have a check. So long range is always dangerous. But it's a possibility the Japanese fighters have. They can fight far away. So this is where we damage the enemy destroyers and sunk some cargo. These are the AMCs, but okay, not so important. I lost my minesweeper here in Port Blair. Okay, I was hoping I can maybe get rid of the mines before anything happens. But no, Jochen bring his at least some carriers here in position. This maybe opened a possibility that I was just running my carriers north. So I have here Yunio and Akagi, not the strongest position or combination. So 81, a little overstacked. And Yunio have a 53 overstacked. If Jochen keeps the position, maybe we can get here a carrier battle. And I have maybe some... if Jochen come more close to me, he can bring Bangkok and out of Sepang, maybe operate some fighters and bombers. But I really can only go to maximum 11 range. So this is 13. So Jochen... But I don't know. I can keep here this ship. Here's a patrol ship. I will keep it like this, and maybe I have here some small detection. If Jochen come maybe in aggressive mode, maybe go to this hex. I can bring my carriers maybe in position of Sebang, and then I have maybe from Sebang some additional fighter forces. Here some Oscars and some Zeros. Also some Nell bombers. They can normally support me. Then even if I have a strike, and maybe Jochen have here 50 fighters or 30 to 50 fighters, he can, maybe I can overwhelm him and maybe land 1 or 2 torpedo hits on his carriers, and this is maybe enough to slow him down. And once he's slowed down, I can maybe use my carriers more aggressively. I will see. Anything else here this turn? Not really. Not really. Here's nothing. So Balikpapan is under control and also not damaged. I must bring additional forces to Tarakan. Jochen arrived here in this hex. I was unloading my units. So I'm still unloading. More or less I'm still unloading, but I can bring this division, the 53rd division will also walk now to this hex. Then I cut him off completely, and then I can maybe get rid of him. We will see how this plays out. Penay, I landed here in the east and in the west, so I can move now my units in both directions, and in the center hopefully trap this unit and let them surrender. Picking up here also the little Philippines, but no real strategic change. In China, I thinking now about bringing this tank division in this hex, blocking the railway, and see how Jochen will react. Maybe I also take some more AV out of this hex and focus it first here, so that I have the opportunity to go to southwest, west, or do something else. My land forces arrive from the mountains now in Xi'an, so I can now give these units, they also arrive next turn, so I can make a delivery attack with this unit and a shock attack with these units, and then whatever is left in Xi'an I hope will be destroyed, because it looks like that Jochen moved out at least 50% of his forces, so maybe he has maximum 2000 EV left, and I have roughly 3,500, and this is open, clear terrain, so hopefully I can create here a victory. And in the South Pacific, no attack on Luganville. There was a submarine, now not more. Subs are lurking here. My carriers are here, still not finding nothing. But I had here, I think, in the battle report that I had somewhere I detected here something, but it's not showing on the map. but I checked the combat report. Here is something somewhere nearby. So I maybe move my carriers to the east, and then I have better scout information. I will use my cruisers also in this direction. I also believe that Jochen have here something running on the Auckland line. That is normally typical. Because if I operate here my ships, I must push him source. It's only the question he go to Auckland, Wellington, or the most source is Dunedin. We will see. Maybe next turn I find something out. So, that's first enough. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.